I scribble on these lines and never elevate. Or in the elevator thinking God had made me levitate. Circle circumstances in a stanza like I'm free to lie. And use propellers as my wings to fly as if they're free to buy. Never crossed my mind I'm free to die cause freedom's still alive. I left the key in the ignition waiting for some.
Alright, there we go, back in our favourite usual spot. So, let's start again. Good morning guys, welcome to another PokeDesign episode. Good morning if you're just tuning in to this episode, or afternoon, evening, wherever it is that you're from in the world. I'm extremely excited to talk to you about this episode of PokeDesign because this episode is literally going to be about legendaries. As we know, Niantic haven't released any information about legendary Pokemon, how these events are going to take place, where or when or what time. But what I've decided to do is throw together kind of my idea in terms of how I think legendaries will go. I've got my first image right here on the left, and you guys will see that this is how I imagine in Pokemon Go if legendary events were about to begin. This is the announcement you would get. So it would say, legendary event, collect as many of your team's badges as you can to awaken Articuno. So you can see there is like a droplet which could be used as Articuno's symbol or badge, or you know, I was trying to keep it tied in with the team's Valor, Mystic, Instinct. So yeah. Next it says these badges can only be acquired through catching ice type Pokemon. So that's the huge game changer with how I would want my event to go, is for it to not become linear and stale, is I would make it that these badges can only be collected from ice type Pokemon, of which we know there is a shortage. There isn't that many ice type Pokemon in the game right now, so this would kind of give people a chance to catch some of those elusive Pokemon, and also Pokemon that haven't been added into the game yet, especially Gen 2, but I'll explain a little bit more once I show you the next screen. So the next screen I'm going to show you guys is the next message that you would get when you're playing Pokemon Go. So, catch Pokemon. Trainers, only certain Pokemon are ice types. To help, here's a list of the available ice type Pokemon, but here's a list that I've thrown together of the currently available ice type Pokemon that are in Pokemon Go. This list contains both Gen 2 and Generation 1 Pokemon. There are a lot more ice type Pokemon in Generation 3, but we are not at Generation 3 yet. We still have to wait for that. And no, I'm not entirely sure if Generation 3 will be out this year. But then the next thing it says is, during the Legend event, ice types will have dramatically increased spawn rates. So that's how I would imagine that it would make it moderately to easy difficulty for people when catching ice type Pokemon, is the spawns for those Pokemon will be increased. I don't know the math of how usually it works, somebody can tell me, but at least to be able to collect enough badges, enough ice type or water type badges, however you want to do it. I guess the way to make it so it's not like, oh, every Pokemon has a badge, would be to maybe decrease. So maybe like 2 in 3 Pokemon have a badge, or 1 in 3 Pokemon have a badge, to make it fair. So every third Pokemon you catch, it kind of resets, and then you start all over again. The next third set of Pokemon that you catch, one of those Pokemon will have a team badge in it, so that you can have enough. I didn't really set a limit yet because I just wanted to kind of imagine and sort of bring everybody into this universe of a different way that I feel legendary events could be done based off what I've heard Niantic say, what has been spoken about on the Sylph Road, and other examples that I've seen other people do. I think that this would be a really cool way. So the next thing that I want to show you is what happens after you've collected enough badges. you would see this message that says you hear a loud cry. And you'll notice there that I've put like a what looks like an arrow that's more like a OK button to just clear the message away. What I was hoping would happen after this screen is that you would move on to seeing Articuno spawn, or something would happen within the game that would indicate, oh, everybody needs to head that way to see where this legendary Pokemon is going to spawn. Again, like I said in my previous video that I did, you can see the annotation here, the GDC conference, I mentioned that being able to have legendary events where it happens wherever you are at the time. Top areas becoming overpopulated in terms of parks, local parks becoming overpopulated. The more accessibility that you have to legendaries wherever you are at the time, the better it will be for Pokemon Go on a whole, and for whatever county, state, country, city, or town you live in, wherever you are. The last image is right here, and it says, trainers, don't wait, get out there and go catch them all. And I've got a cute little smoochum at the bottom of the screen. So that's really going to be it for this PokeDesign episode, guys. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting. This episode is a little bit shorter than the rest on purpose because there is so much to do this week. So that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace. Actually, no, it's not. I lied. There is more to talk about. So we did the live stream last week. Many of you showed up. Thank you for showing up. A couple of things that were mentioned. One thing that is coming at you, I think this video, Patreon. You guys will now officially, and I'm crazy excited about this, be able to invest in the channel. Invest in what I do in the channel if you choose. There are a number of options on there for you to decide what you feel best suits you. You're also welcome to contribute, but for people who don't want to do a monthly thing, you can do a one-off thing, and that one-off thing will give you access to the Patreon community, where you guys will have an impact and an influence in terms of what I do in the next videos. So imagine if you're somebody like myself who's dyslexic, or maybe you're somebody that struggles with some of the daily life thing, and you say, oh, I would really like to see a video that talks about this subject, or explains about how I could play Pokemon Go better in this subject, or maybe you think, oh, it'd be really cool to see like this kind of cover song. Bear in mind, it literally would have to learn the song, so that video wouldn't happen immediately. But the main thing is Patreon would help me to do a video that gets released despite of PokeDesign that would be for you guys. It would be 100% ad-free. It would also include a giveaway for all of you guys, so you would all get a chance. So there'll be like a first, second and third prize, because I like to be fair, maybe a fourth runner-up, because you know, sometimes they do these competitions and you're like, man, just the first and second runner-up, where's like third and fourth? So I believe in fourth. I don't know what's after bronze, is it copper? Yeah, like a copper award or something. At one point I had tried to do my own Pokemon badges, so that might be a thing too, not copying from anybody, but I had been thinking about doing my own special series of Pokemon badges forever ago. That was going to be pretty interesting. So that's that. So Patreon is in the description. If you would like to check that out, go ahead. Please feel free to check out Patreon. Announcement number 2 is this week on Thursday and Friday I'm heading to Dibby, which is Design It, Build It, massive huge design conference for everything and anything to do with design. I think a little bit of tech and also like startup, mostly design. So I'm really excited about going to that. So I will be attending that conference. So if you're going, let me know. I'll possibly try to say hi. But the main thing is, a lot of the video for this week will be coming from that event, so expect some crazy Pokemon spawns, or at least I hope it's going to be some crazy Pokemon spawns. So I'm hoping to like shoot a lot of what's happening in the conference, not the boring stuff, but the interesting stuff, show you guys some of the vendors, the stalls, mostly a lot of Pokemon spawning, that kind of thing. So yeah, and also outside, in and around the conference center too, I want to do those type of things. And the last and third final update is events. I've spoken to you guys about doing events. A lot of you asked me, will I be coming to ... areas? A lot of people in Scotland mentioned like Aberdeen, Ayrshire, and I will say yes, that is my ultimate goal. I would like to do like a Psalm Lab Go tour where I go and we do meetups in Scotland, which would be cool. But one thing that I'm going to be doing within this week will be creating a meetup event page, and it's going to be a little bit more officialized and better organized, and that event will allow you guys to come and meet up, and a ton of other stuff that will be happening during that event that I don't want to give away. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's encouraged you and inspired you, or at least made your day a little bit brighter than it was before. Don't forget, guys, if there's anything you ever want to talk about, I'm always here and available. You are not your circumstances. You can do the impossible, and I appreciate you all being here. And there is a plan and a purpose for your life, because I believe that God has one for you, no matter how difficult the situation is. So, thanks for watching. Have a good day or night. God bless. Peace.
I'm dropping from the top of it, comparing to the world's end.